Mali's junta leader and new interim president, Colonel Assimi Goita, is in Ghana for a meeting with West African leaders. Now, they'll discuss a response to Mali's second coup in just 9 months. Goita was invited for what's been termed as consultations before the Economic Community of West African States meets for a summit devoted to Mali. Goita served as vice president from August last year. Mali's constitutional court named him transitional president on Friday. The 15-nation bloc has threatened to reimpose sanctions on Mali. France has also warned it will pull its troops out of the country if it lurches towards radical Islamism. Well, let's delve a little deeper now into these latest developments. We're joined by our correspondent, Nabil Ahmed Rufai, live from Accra, Ghana. And we also have Fahira-man Rodrigue Kone from the Sahel Team of the Institute for Security Studies. He's joining us live via Zoom from Bamako in Mali. But let's start in Accra, Nabil, with you, of course, that meeting set to take place today. What is the latest from Accra, and what are we expecting to come out of these talks with ECOWAS?
Well, Lindy, the ECOWAS leaders have started arriving here in Ghana for the extraordinary summit to discuss the future of Mali. And here at the venue where the summit is expected to be held, preparation is ongoing. In there, the conference room where the discussions will be held is being prepared. Now we know that the junta, Colonel Assimi Goita, has already arrived here in Ghana. In fact, he left Bamako on Saturday, and he will be part of this celebration, which will be mediated by the former Nigerian president, Goodluck Jonathan, who's been steering the affairs of the political situation in Mali since the first coup. Now, what the leaders will be expecting to do is to also convince the junta to hand over back to civilian government to oversee the transition. We know during the first coup, that was what they tried to achieve, and were able to do so after a back and forth with the leader. And this is exactly what they'll be hoping to achieve at this particular summit. And if that fails, we're already learning that they will impose sanctions on Mali. We know that Mali was expected to hold elections early January, a democratic election early next year. But then as to whether this would really happen, it's something that these leaders will also be discussing at the summit based on the second coup that has already happened, Lindy.
And of course, as we know, one possible response from ECOWAS could be sanctions imposed on Mali. Nabil, how would these proposed sanctions impact the country and the interim leaders?
Lady, you know that the sanctions are likely to take in the form of economic sanction, and that was what happened in the first situation when the coup was done. The ECOWAS regions, or the ECOWAS bloc, actually shut their borders to Mali, and this prevented inflows of financial inflows and also trading across borders into Mali. So this is likely to impact the economy of Mali if the sanctions are reimposed. And we know with the insurgency already taking place in some parts of Mali by these jihadist groups, it's also likely to escalate, and that will really have a dire impact on the citizens of Mali. So these are the two key things that are likely to affect the citizens of Mali when these sanctions are reimposed. One, economic, crippling the economy, and also the insecurity is likely to escalate, Lindy.
Thank you so much. That's Nabil Ahmed Rufai joining us there live from Accra. Let's now go to Fahira-man Rodrigue Kone. He's live with us in Bamako. Fahira-man, events have been moving rather quickly in Mali, and of course a swift response taking place today from the regional bloc ECOWAS. But to what extent do you think ECOWAS can really help shape things to come in Mali?
ECOWAS has a limited possibility of negotiation in this current situation because the regional body cannot come back to the previous order. The Malian Constitutional Court on Friday, I think, gave a legal foundation to the head of the junta by proclaiming him as the head of the state. And also the junta tried to have a political agreement with internal political and social forces, as well that seems to give him a kind of legitimacy. ECOWAS has to be pragmatic and realistic. A first option could worsen the economic situation in the country, which is already facing to a severe security crisis. And if this could give those sanctions, we could go in a kind of larger supporter to the junta among the population, because this could be seen as an injustice after the case of Chad, where the international community were more flexible.
Now, of course, this is the second military takeover in less than a year. But the new interim leader is talking about appointing a prime minister from the M5 RFP coalition. How might this arrangement change the political matrix in the transition process?
Apparently, there is a reconfiguration of internal political game with the comeback of M5 coalition, which was 1 year ago one of the major contestants of the previous regime and the falling of this regime too. I think this gives a chance of a broad consensus to the political situation, but at the same time, there are some political parties which strongly condemn the coup. And there is still negotiation and reconfiguration of the political arena. But at the same time, we can recognize that the military regime is still at the middle of the political game. They are the major actors, and there is not really a big change as we are seeing.
Well, thank you so much for that analysis. Fahira-man Rodrigue Kone joining us live via Zoom from Bamako.